I'm going to try and get through this without getting too emotional. But I have decided, after 20 years of doing the breakfast show on the Edge, to leave. And this may be a surprise for some others, but for me and for you guys and the management here, it's been ongoing conversations that I've been having for the last couple of years. And we were sort of working towards the end of this year, but the timing just feels right now because at the end of the year, Meg's going to be going away on maternity leave, so it gives us half a year to find someone else to work with you guys, Meg and Randall, and establish a new show. It's a funny thing. I always thought I'd know when the right time to leave is, but you know, 'cause I saw this with JJ. She was on the show for many years and she got to the point she was over it. She'd had enough. But I've never reached that point. I love the station and the people that work here so much. So I've just realised it's one of those things. It's like a breakup, you know, and you just have to do it. But one thing that I always hoped I'd get to do is leave the station in a better position than when you found it. And I started working at the Edge in 2001. We were a fledgling station based in Hamilton. We had about 300,000 listeners, and we were like the upstart station. And a couple of weeks ago, the radio ratings came out, and we've now got 631,000 listeners. So I'm at peace with how I'm leaving, but it doesn't make it any easier to say goodbye. So I suppose there'll be a lot of people wondering, like, what's next? Well, Meg and Randall are going to continue on the Dom, Meg and Randall show, and you'll find someone else to work with. I've been doing morning radio now for 31 years on 2 different stations, wow. The Edge, and before that a station in Palmerston North. So my plan now is to take the rest of the year off and do some selfish stuff for me. Priority number 1 is spending some time working on my mental health. I've been through some stuff. When you're doing a show like this, it's hard to unpack that sort of stuff because it's such a high energy show and you've got to be focused on the audience. But there's some things that have just really taken it out of me. You know, I had a marriage breakup. We had a tough family adoption that turned a bit sour. Lots of rounds of IVF, and I don't think I've dealt with that stuff properly, and you know, I need to do that. But as well as that, there's other stuff. There's like some fitness goals that I really want to achieve while I'm still young enough to be able to do that, and I really want to crack some ultra marathons and bits and pieces. And then there's just other things that I've been fantasizing about every time we have a break, like doing some writing and staying up later than 9 p.m. and maybe going out for a dinner on a Tuesday night at later than 6 p.m. and
having some friends.
Well, spending time with my friends and actually listening to their conversation rather than thinking, how can I use this as a content piece on the radio tomorrow morning? And sleep-ins, I can't tell you how excited I am about having some sleep-ins and just catching up. I think you guys will agree, when you do this job, you're just constantly in a state of tiredness. So that's the immediate future for myself. As for what's next, well, I'd kind of like to think of what I'm doing is like a halftime break in my career. So when you play a game of rugby, you play 40 minutes, you have a 10-minute break, then you play another 40 minutes. I've been doing this for 31 years. I'll have a break, maybe 6 months, maybe longer, just as long as I actually need, and just a time to like come up for air and catch my breath. And then when I start to miss it, I'll decide what I want to do and return to the radio.
Half-time break, mate. You're 48. I think you're going to die in the second half.
Okay. Well, there won't be any extra time. I'm still under contract with MediaWorks, who is the company that owns the Edge, and they've been really cool and supportive with that decision. So hopefully that relationship continues. But I mean, you guys know what I'm like. Ultimately, I do love a dollar, so I'll go where the money is. But I do want to say, from the absolute bottom of my heart, thank you so much to like everyone at the Edge, past and present. In particular, my 5 co-hosts in that entire time. That's JJ Feeney, Jason Reeves, Mike Peru, and you guys, Clint Randall and Meg Mansell. It's amazing, 20 years and a total of only 5 different co-hosts. It's incredible. But the greatest thanks of all needs to go to the Edge listeners. Whether you've been along for the ride for 20 years or just the last couple of months, thank you so much for tolerating me. I think.
Interesting choice of word.
Listen, there's so many good memories, and I'm so pleased to being able to bow out, with a great team, and a great number of listeners listening to us. It's been one hell of a ride.
I think it's also, Dom, like you say, 31 years of giving everything to the listeners in terms of like who you are, and there's nothing that's off limits. And like you say, just giving. It's really cool that you're going to have like the rest of the year to just kind of take and just like you say, get your life back and just do everything that you want to do for you, because you have just done everything for everyone else for so long.
I've honestly forgotten how to live as like a normal person, and not a person that's constantly looking for things to talk about on the radio the next morning. But it doesn't make it any easier to leave. It really doesn't. It's a great station, this, and I love it so much.
When is your last day?
Well, Meg, you know what I'm like. I'm notorious for being a party ghost. So I'm making it short but sweet. I'm finishing the week and then I'm gone. Other people do it differently. A friend of mine, PJ, who was doing a breakfast show in Melbourne, her last day was last Friday. She had a bit more of a build-up, but I just want to rip the Band-Aid off and get into it.
Friday.
But yeah. I'm going to miss working. This is the thing. I'm going to miss you guys so bloody much, and the audience we've got, even the ones that hate me. I've enjoyed winding them up.
You're not really going to miss them.
Yeah, no, I absolutely will.
There'll be a lot of pros. You'll be able to invite Dom around, Meg, and you won't be sifting through your top drawers looking for your diary and content for the next day. I think that'll be nice.
It's hard to put into words how I think me and Randall are feeling. I mean, for I can't. It's too hard. Sorry.
You guys are going to be great. You guys are going to be great. You'll be fantastic.